Hi guys, Vladimir here, and we're going to be diving into the topic of why you should warm up before playing basketball or doing any sports, to be honest. Warming up is something that I always used to think was retarded. I could never understand why my gym teachers and coaches would make us warm up before the game or warm up before a sport. It seemed so boring and long, and all I could think about was getting past the warm up just to go ahead and play whatever sport I was going to play. But particularly for basketball, warming up is something that, looking back, I wish that I took more seriously. As you get older in age, you start to see the benefits of warming up, and it makes sense to do so. But a lot of us just don't do it. We think it's for old men. We think it's just for stiff people. Actually, warming up is something that unlocks your athleticism. If you do not warm up before you play a sport, especially basketball, you're limiting yourself by, I would probably say, like 40%, or it might even be 50%. You're not unlocking all the angles that your body can move, and you're not unlocking all the motions, the moves that you can possibly do without hurting yourself. You know, and it's sad that although when you turn on the TV and you see LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, you see Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, what do you see? All you see is them on the floor warming up. They're getting stretched out. They're taking their time before they start the game. They're doing a dynamic warm up. They have the bands and things of that nature. Yet, it's sad to see that young kids aren't adopting the same mentality as the professionals. Part of becoming a professional basketball player is emulating some of the things that the professionals do. And all professionals warm up. And I feel that a lot of younger people, and I've been guilty of this myself in the past, they just choose not to warm up before a game. Even if it's a game of 21 or 2-on-2, you should always warm up before you play. You know, my friend, he recently contacted me, and he explained to me how before a game he played, he finally had the stones to just go ahead and warm up. He warmed up the right way. Instead of just start shooting around, he stretched and he warmed up dynamically. And he texted me that same night. He said, "Man, I just had the best game of my life in the past couple of weeks." He's coming off a knee injury, so before he warmed up that night, he was just going to games cold, and he couldn't shoot really well. His range was off, and his body felt tight. But that night when he warmed up, he just felt like everything unlocked, and he felt more athletic. He had a quicker bounce on his feet. He could get to the ball. He was diving for loose balls. This is a guy coming off a major knee surgery, and just off a warm up, he was able to perform way better. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys have a level that you're not reaching. So if you can reach a level up here, simply by not warming up, you're holding yourself back and you're coming down here. So you could have been here, but you're really right here right now. So if you warm up, you could actually reach your full potential. That's something to take into account. And when I say warm up, I don't mean going to the court and shooting a couple jumpers. Anybody could do that. They could shoot a few bricks and do a couple layup lines and felt like they warmed up, but that's not it. Warming up entails something which I love to do, which is called dynamic warm ups, which I adopted from Dre Baldwin. You can catch his stuff on DreAllDay.com. Anyway, what I learned from Dre was that it's better to dynamically warm up, because what people don't understand about warming up and stretching, dynamically warming up awakes your muscles. It activates your muscles, so it gets it ready for fight or flight. So you're getting ready to do some work. You get on the court or catch a football, whatever it is. So you're activating your muscles. So you're getting those lats, those quads. You're getting your core ready to to perform activity. When you stretch, static stretching is more for cooling down, making your muscles go to sleep, so to speak. We'll say going to sleep, just so you can follow the analogy. So stretching is more for cool down. You stretch after, you stretch before a game, but you more so want to dynamically warm up, and you stretch after a game because you want to make sure all the muscles, they're calm and relaxed. Because have you ever noticed that after a game of basketball, you wake up in the morning and you feel like crap, like you feel like stiff, your neck is stiff, or you can't raise your arm, or you feel very sore? Well, that comes from not stretching after you play the game of basketball. So you always gotta stretch after a game also. So I like to dynamically warm up, and that entails things like walking up and down the court and doing butt kicks, jumping jacks, hopping up, just straight high knees, deep deep squats. So you deep squats, like go all the way down to the ground, probably just hop up. You can find a dynamic warm up anywhere that you can follow. Leg leg kicks. You ever see the NBA players that got the hand on the wall and they're kicking their legs? All of those things activate all of those muscles, which you need to play the best game that you could possibly play. So whenever you're not dynamically warming up, you're hurting yourself. I mean, you're really hurting yourself. Some people, they feel like they can't shoot threes, or they feel like they don't have a lot of range. And when you're shooting threes, you're using your entire body. But when you don't dynamically warm up and wake up your entire body, you're not going to have that much range. You see what I'm saying? So don't limit yourself. Try to dynamically warm up, get those muscles activated, because if your muscles aren't activated, then you're just going to be slower on the court. And it's happened to me. It's happened to me a lot, especially in my younger days, where I just didn't have it. I just didn't have the energy. I just didn't have the bounce. And that was pretty much because I was playing and my muscles were asleep. Instead of me playing, my muscles being awake. And after that, I compounded that error with not stretching after the game. So when the next morning when I woke up, I felt like I couldn't get out of bed. I'm getting Charlie horses. And all of that is simply because I'm not stretching properly. I'm not warming up properly. So my word of advice to you guys, take it seriously, dynamically warm up, get those muscles activated, get your blood going, and make that the first thing you do before you even touch the basketball. Just warm up dynamically. Just warm up. Run a few sprints, jumping jacks, anything that gets the blood going. Do they have something like people do lunges, but you could do lunge toe touch. So you do a lunge, then you bring your feet together, then you reach down and you touch your toes. All of that, it extends the hamstrings and it gets the hamstrings firing. So all of that is important for your game. Don't limit yourself, and don't think that you're not as athletic as you possibly could be. You just probably aren't treating yourself as athletic as you should be. People that are athletic, Usain Bolt, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, they're warming up. They're warming up before the game. If it takes half an hour, so be it. And it doesn't have to take half an hour for you. It could be 10 to 15 minutes. Everybody has 10 to 15 minutes. And if you don't, come to the court a little earlier before your friends get there and warm up a little bit. You're gonna see a great difference in your game, and you're gonna thank yourself in the morning and when you stretched after the game, and it's gonna make you perform a whole lot better. If the pros are doing it, and this is something simple that doesn't cost you money to do, you should be doing it also. This is Vladimir from Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.